Hi, good morning. This is the last part of chapter 5. The last topic is about registration. Okay, you know that when you are handling any event, you have to do registration. So, registration is the process of gathering all pertinent information and fees necessary for an individual to attend the meetings. We know that registration is also a source of income, especially for a large event. However, registration also known as a complex process, which require a lot of trainings, especially when on the day itself. eh. Some hotel or convention center, they have the arrangement with temporary agencies ataupun they are using outsource ataupun they hired staff who can do a registration on a regular basis. The terminologies related with the registration, antara yang biasa kita dengar lah untuk registration, number one is early bird special. What is early bird special? Nama pun ada perkataan early di situ. Is actually a discount given to attendees who register in advance. For example, if the event closing date is on December, so kalau you dah register bulan 6, so it's considered as early bird and you might get certain amount of discount. Why it is important? Because when you have early registration, so it can enable the planner to determine whether registration numbers are at anticipated level. Let's say if you have targeted 400 registration or attendees, so from that time to that time, you are encouraged to have a look at the numbers of registration. Supaya when you are targeted 500, sebenarnya itu adalah level yang you tetapkan dan mungkin dekat situ sebenarnya dah cover you punya cost, keuntungan dan sebagainya. So bila tak cukup numbers of registration is actually membimbangkan lah. Okay. Okay, we know that during registration there are so many data needed by the meeting planners. Of course, all of this information is needed because the following usage. Sebab-sebab yang inilah kita perlukan data tu. Okay, number one, prior to the meeting, so the data can be given or sold to exhibitors or advertisers supaya they can know how to promote their company's products before the actual meetings. Second one, it may also be used as a market to potential attendees who have not committed to attend. Contohnya yang memang tak daftar lagi, tapi mungkin dia nak datang, so you can use this kind of information to help. The third one, it also can help planners to monitor interest. What is the interest of the attendees? Let's say if they love to do that, they love that kind of workshop, so you are going to use this kind of registration data. Contohnya when you do the registration data, or you do the registration, the data that you get is most of them are not young people, orang yang dah agak berusia, 50 and above. So you know that with that data you can use what type of event that's suitable ataupun what type of planning untuk you buat. Okay, what else? After the meeting, registration data can be used to update membership record. You can solicit new members or you can sell to interested parties. Sebenarnya that's why there are so many cases nowadays. People are selling your information. So sebenarnya when you sign for registration, selalunya ada dekat bottom of the tu. I hereby acknowledge the information apa-apa semua dibuat untuk apa-apa sebenarnya kan. Sebab tu kadang-kadang if you notice your information to leak because of actually you dah sign dah pun waktu registration tu. So normally dia akan gunakan this kind of information lah. Okay, this is registration fees. So we know that pricing structure is varies. Depends on how much is it. So selalunya kalau kita tengok this is for conference fees lah selalunya. So ada untuk regular presenter, visual, student. Untuk early bird selalunya awal. Untuk members persatuan, untuk supplier, untuk student. Student normally harga memang sangat murah. Okay, so normally after the cut-off date, let's say registration tu close 10 April. So selepas tu ada orang nak register. Boleh, boleh. Tapi dia akan increase, dia akan tambah 100 dan sebagainya. Some event, especially like trade show, registration are based on what the attendees want to attend. So you nak pergi yang mana? So kalau you nak pergi ni, you datang, you bayarlah. That is for trade show. That's why dia ada entrance fees kan. Alright. Next thing, under the registration also, dia ada banyak jenis sebenarnya. So, pre-registration also ada juga. On-site registration pun ada. So, what is the difference? So, pre-registration is sebelum event tu sendirilah. Normally a week or month in advance. On-site sewaktu hari kejadian lah. Okay. So, kalau untuk pre-registration tadi, benefit dia kalau kita buat pre-registration sebab we can get all the information who will attend. So, room capacity also you can be determined. Contohnya, berapa orang yang daftar? 800. So, you hanya cari bilik yang kapasitinya 800. Janganlah attendees 800, tapi you pergi cari room capacity yang untuk 10,000 kan. So, tak berapa sesuai. Okay. Next to pay bills or necessary deposit, sometimes you have to pay deposit to the convention center ataupun to the hotels. So daripada pre-registration amount tadilah, dia boleh dapatkan dia punya sources of income. Kalau on-site pula, di hari kejadian selalunya during the on-site event ni memang very busy. So it is very, you need to have heavily staff ataupun numbers of staff ramai. Sometimes what is the most important thing, you can separate registration counter supaya dia tak bercampur. Let's say this is for trade show, this is for conference, this is for seminar. You know, you have several counters supaya dia tak tertumpu kepada satu counter. This is on-site registration. Saya rasa you selalu je pergi on-site registration kan untuk any event ataupun gathering. Okay, so finish with registration. Next is housing. Housing it's not a new term, it's actually an accommodation, okay, accommodation arrangement, okay. So there are 4 basic method of handling housing for attendees ataupun accommodation for attendees. Number 1, the attendees arrange their own. Let's say you are giving a list of nearby hotels, tapi apa-apa semua dibuat oleh attendees. That is number 1. Number 2 is a group rate negotiated by the planner at one or more properties, and attendees respond directly to the reservation department. This one normally we have a sort of like collaboration with the hotel ataupun resort yang berhampiran. So whoever attend the conference, contohnya, they are getting a special place with a bit discount. Sometimes the discount is also very good. Depends on the collaboration made by the meeting planner and the hotel ataupun the resort. The third one, meeting sponsor handle all housing and attendees book room through them. This one sponsored room lah. Kalau ditanggung semuanya. So the attendees only need to give their details and everything is handled by the sponsor. And the fourth one is a third-party housing bureau ataupun outsourced company handle all arrangement, either for a fee or paid by the CVB. This one kalau event tu ditanggung oleh Convention and Visitor Bureau, so selalunya this one dia akan gunakan outsourced party ataupun outsourced company, sama ada independent agent ataupun travel agent pun boleh juga, ataupun memang company spesifik yang akan arrange the arrangement for the housing. So this is the 4 basic type ataupun method. Okay, ini detail yang untuk attendees own arrangement, sama je macam saya cakap tadi. So this is actually the easiest method. Okay, you boleh baca nantilah basically what is the characteristic of satu-satu. This is very easy. I think you can read, and if you have question, you may ask at the comment below. Okay, this one also related with own arrangement, because own arrangement ni something yang very common. So sebab tu kita tengok benda ni biasalah kalau you nak pergi conference tu, dia akan bagi berapa list dan sebagainya. So apa-apa dia akan diuruskan oleh attendees tadilah. Okay, this one yang in-house ataupun reservation. This is especially for possible and easiest for smaller group. Untuk yang kecil-kecil boleh lah. Not more than 100 contohnya kan. Okay. basic information yang diperlukan, contohnya type of room, disable room request, you nak smoking ke non smoking, arrival and departure, kena tahu pukul apa sampai, name of additional guest, special request, contohnya you nak bilik menghadap laut, contohnya you nak bilik menghadap gunung, you nak bilik menghadap bilik orang lain, nak skodeng ataupun nak stok, I don't know, sometimes they are requesting something like that, tapi sebenarnya it is depends on the customer's needs kan. Okay, the fourth one is yang outsource tadi, sama juga yang ni adalah by the third party vendor. Alright, as a meeting planner, I think everybody knows about this type of rooms. Sometimes bila customer you kata nak quote, apa quote tu kan, awak tak tahu. Actually, quote tu for 4 people, and they have 2 large bed ataupun queen size ataupun king size bed seperti gambar yang nombor 2 ni lah. Okay, kalau dia kata single, 1 person, 1 bed, satu katil seorang. Kalau double, 2 people, 1 bed. Kalau double, 2 people, 2 bed. Triple, 3 macam tu lah. Okay, ni antara room types yang available. Tapi tak semua hotel ada, you kena check dengan hotel sendirilah. And this one, a suite ataupun dipanggil parlor suite. Parlor suite ni, suite ke suite? Suite lah, parlor suite. It's actually sleeping room space separate from the living space. Macam gambar yang bawah ni, is quite nama pun suite kan, bising mahal sedikit lah selalunya harganya. So your living space lain, your sleeping room pun lain. So this is antara type of room that available. I think you have learned this in HTM 130. So this is actually a recap of what you have learned previous semesters. Okay, so I think that's all for chapter 5. Kita dah habis. Altogether we have, I think, 7 part or 8 part of the videos. So if you want to do a revision, so please have a look at the link ataupun you may go to my channel supaya you boleh tengok untuk you study. So notes saya dah post dekat Google Classroom. This is actually for your additional because sometimes you need more information ataupun you nak dengar suara saya ataupun you nak tengok video kan. So if you selesa dengan slide, so you tengok slide lah. So kalau you nak perlukan video lebih tambahan, so you boleh tengok video. I'm giving you an option at this time. Okay, thank you very much everyone. Assalamualaikum.